Hey everyone, welcome to this week's Season 1 episode where we're talking about art, passion, and all things abstract. We are joined by prominent NFT collectors Bad Apple, Cody, and JC. We talked about the collector's perspective, the mindset, and how to get your NFTs on a buyer's hand. This session was conducted on Twitter Space and hosted by Akmal from Green Gang. So, without further ado, here's our session. So we do have some very interesting topics tonight, huh, Akmal?
Yeah, this all stems from your session. I guess was it last week?
Obviously, the credit doesn't only belong to us futurists.
I think a bulk of it goes to Cody for jumping in that space and then just being brutally honest. So I think that caught a lot of people's attention. So I guess, we want more of these feedback, right? Especially for creators, people who just got to know the scene, the NFT scene, especially just through Pentas. So I think there's a lot of people like that, including myself. And maybe just share what's out there. What have you seen that works? What you probably like or dislike. I think we can be brutally honest in this session. If that's okay.
Yeah, no sugar coating lah. Basically, no sugar coating.
Yeah.
But How will I be able to share my opinions if I can't sugarcoat them? Oh no.
Sugar coating is more like roasting people lah. Okay, so we are fine with that.
Caramel glaze, that's what's up.
Cody, I didn't tell you, but I had to actually cut out some of your swear words when you were doing the session. Because you swear too much.
I swear way too much, man. I am the rudest person I know, dude. I'm so sorry. I apologize. It must have been really exhausting editing out 40 minutes of your podcast.
Yeah, so there was one part you said, let's go, right? You said, let's go. So quickly, I had to just really slow down everything and to just cut it out. Make sure the kids don't get this type of thing, if they listen to our podcast.
Dude, you think the children don't get these kind of things from YouTube?
I mean, yeah, soon, but you gotta give them time. Yeah, at the end of the day,
I think since Cody is here, and we can just start there.
For sure,
man. But I absolutely enjoyed being introduced in like a wrestler, like bam, bam. I'm kidding. Hi, my name is Cody. I run a blockchain company called Estate Protocol. We utilize NFTs in a very different way, in a more fractionalizing of a real estate property type of way. I am the rudest person I know. Please do not take everything into what I say to full effect. I mean, I am an idiot, but I hope I can give you enough insight and value to enrich your life tonight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Sorry, that was my music. All right, sorry.
Yeah. I was actually finding like a ding 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 audio, but I couldn't find it in time. Then you stopped. But it's okay. Can you talk a bit about Estate Protocol and just really tell those people who don't know actually what Estate Protocol is and what you're currently working on? Just elaborate a bit on that.
Okay. So Estate Protocol is basically a marketplace, a platform that can potentially trade and list and buy and sell properties, real world asset properties. And what we're trying to do is that we're trying to solve the problems within the space, which is like we have a few problems when it comes to buying property. Number one is that the entry level is way too high. Majority of the economy, majority of the middle class just simply cannot dish out that 10% down payment. And not to mention of your, like, the only way you can get a 10% down payment is if you actually qualify for the loan itself, right? So how do you then partake in this economy? It's near impossible. So we're trying to solve this problem by lowering down the ticket entry price to $100 so that you can buy a fraction of a property. So you can come back into, because in history there are only two real modes of markets to get you generational wealth. One is stocks and the other is property, and we are not playing both of them. We're sorry, us as Malaysians, we play neither of them. So here we are trying to solve this issue for the world. And
Yeah,
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
right. Yeah. Dividing the ownership of real estate by using fractionalization. I really like that concept, and allowing everybody an opportunity to own a form of real estate that they might not even have the capital to purchase an entire building or entire bungalow. So definitely a very futuristic project.
I think Cody, let's take it back, right? In terms of all these NFT things. So can you tell us a little bit on why you start to collect NFTs or art? Like, were you before NFTs already someone who's collecting art? Because I saw on Twitter that you're saying you used to starve for lunch. Now you're someone with a bit more money. Yeah, so go ahead.
Good gang. Thank you for that wonderful question. And also thank you for inviting me, dude. I mean, this is quite fun. Yeah. Yo. So, all right. So, hey, how I got into NFTs? All right. So I got into NFTs, because my friend Mel Vinegar, introduced me into the space, and I've got a few NFT DJs who are also very well-to-do entrepreneurs surrounding me as well. One of them is Joe. Joe Lamb Sheep Mutton. I think that's his Twitter handle. Whatever your fucking handle is, Joe, man. Whatever it is. But yeah, Joe and also this guy called Insignia. That's his Twitter handle, by the way. I won't tell you his real name. I mean, that's a breach of privacy, guys. All right, we do not name drop people. Unlike the time I brought Ultimate here to the Twitter space. You're welcome, by the way. So how I got into NFTs was, basically it was part of the NFT rush. I got into it late September, I believe. That was when Bored Apes was 40 Ethereum floor price. So that was when I started jumping in, thinking that I could multiply my Ethereum. But no, it has only I instead of Ethereum I now have pictures of cats. So has it been a great investment? I can't really tell you. But ever since then, I have divulged my art buying habits into something of more value to me, more significant and subjective value to I, right? So that has led me into this space where I come to Pedas and I see oh shit, you guys are pretty dope. It's so dope. So I buy a few, and then here we are, talking to 200 people about my opinions on your art.
I think that's a nice introduction. Yeah, so basically, JC, if you don't mind, would you able to share a little bit about yourself, what you do, and then how did you get into collecting art, as NFT or the conventional art?
Understand that. Hi everyone, about 200 people over here. I'm JC. So apart from being a collector in Pentas, I'm a full-time father and I run a VC firm with my syndicate. But my history with art, if you don't mind to share, when I was a teenager, I had an art teacher who explored me about art theories and art business. So during that time, there's no internet, so he lends me a lot of books. And throughout that time, I joined during 2002. There's a persatuan called Persatuan Serupa. It's a persatuan seni lukis dan reka cipta Johor under this AB Serupa. From there, I've joined the caravan of artists traveling the states and exhibits. It's a rough life. It sucks. Artists not get paid well. There's a moment that I have to lower down my art, my canvas, because lapar. I'm so hungry, then I have to lower it to $5. Itu pun orang tak nak beli, cibai. So it's yeah. Then
God bless me.
Yeah, it's a hard life. So I was like teenager. I just want to explore everything. I just fucking 50 years old. So I went to my dad, asked my dad, and he said that no painter he ever met had a stable financial lifestyle. So then I went to my art teacher, who has been supporting me and guiding me. They're telling me that an artist, this is his quote, an artist truly achieves success bila dia dah mati. This is what I say lah. So I just terdiam seketika. I left my half-baked ambition and to be an artist and leave that industry and move to economy and business. So until 2019, before pandemic tu, I stumbled upon NFT because I was doing this whole shit coins and also some DeFi investment, and getting the idea that ERC 721 can affirm an ownership. It means a lot for people who understand blockchain, because even though that an artwork is just a digital artwork, the hash code behind it make it a unique item, a unique non-fungible. And now, product dah ada, it's up to the creator to let the communities, to let the market, to let the product proposition, let the nature speculate it. So, sorry for melalut. That's my opinion. How I get to know about art.
Right. So before I think Futures will ask the next key question. So JC, it's essentially, how long was it between you wanting to become an artist and then move on to the business side of things, and now rediscovering your passion? Is it very long? A few years?
Very long. Actually, after I was in a banking industry. Afterwards, I moved to Forex. And afterwards, I moved to crypto. And now I moved to NFTs. Everywhere.
Maximalist in everything. Awesome.
I hope so. I cannot miss anything. We cannot miss, bro. We have to be fast.
Yeah,
man.
Definitely agree with you on that point, JC. Thank you so much for giving us your opinion on art, and also adding in a bit of interesting words right there. I think you are controlling your swearing lah. Thank you for the effort though.
Oh, yeah. I think it's very important because about 200 people are listening. I cannot send some bullshit over here.
Yes. Cody, just not to halt the session, but we do have a question from GB Technology right here. I pinned it up on this space already. What is the difference between fractionalized property ownership and REITs? Please take that question.
Okay. REITs is it's okay. We all know REITs as the de facto traditional system of asset offering that we have right now, right? Now, essentially, with the fractionalization of property ownership on NFTs, right, we're building the entire chain on the ERC 1155 block protocol, right? So with that being said, right, we're simply digitizing the space on the blockchain. So now the question is the difference between, I believe the real question should be, right, do we have whoa, wait, what? My brain, what am I saying? No. The real difference between REITs and fractionalized property ownership on the blockchain is that it's on the blockchain. And because of that, you can do it in a cross-border type situation, because the property market is quite localized. Like if you're a Japanese person, you can't buy properties in Berlin, right? And vice versa, if you're Malaysia, you can't buy properties in Australia, right? So you have that sort of border jurisdiction that we have to deal with. But with the law team that I have, and we're currently talking to different governments at the same time. Berlin has been very open to our technology, right? And next El Salvador, and then following up is Singapore. So we're coming to this space where we're coming to a borderless economy, and with blockchain technology, we can finally do that on a more transparent, more worldwide scale of REITs. So it's kind of like REITs, but it's the future. So I hope that answers your question.
So it's like futuristic REIT lah. Can we say that?
You can.
Right.
Just like JC, evolving with the times. So do our industries, and this is simply just one of the real estate asset is the world's oldest asset class.
Yeah.
You know? But with the least amount of innovation, so this is time.
Yeah.
It's this what's gonna happen, regardless if I do it or not. So yeah.
It is time for our technologies to evolve, and progress to a much better scale, I would to say. So okay, we'll move on to tonight's questions. We'll start with Cody. What do you mainly look for when purchasing an artwork? Now you've covered this before, but let's hear it again and hit it, Cody. Just hit it.
All right. I would also like to take some time to represent Bad Apple. So okay. Let me. So hi. My name is Bad Apple. I'm an. All right. Okay. I'll stop. I'm so sorry. I just had to do that one. I just couldn't help myself.
That was bad.
Okay. That was. Okay.
You failed miserably on that one.
I'm sorry, Bad Apple. I'm sorry. Okay. What do I look for when I buy a piece of art? Okay. So firstly, cultural relevance has to be important, right? Like for example, when I bought Roach Punk's Star Wars version, the one that was paired with the Musang King one, right? I bought it because firstly I like Star Wars, so it has to be something that I culturally assign to, right? So I'm a huge Star Wars nerd. Secondly, I spend more money on the description than I do on the art, and here's what I mean by that. Your visual representation of the thing, which is your piece of art, is only one aspect of the product, which I would say is probably 25%. The other 75% of that painting is your story, who you are, the moment of time that we're in, what kind of stage of growth you are in as an artist. Am I buying Sue Anna Joe post depression, or before she made that 52K, paycheck? And I'm proud to say, I'm the pre Sue Anna 52K. You know what I mean? So I can probably say that, yeah, you're worth a certain, if you're from a different, depending on your journey. So I look at your journey too. I also look at why you made that piece, because the nuance of an artist, in my opinion, is worth way more. Way more. I do not buy Leonardo da Vinci's work because of how pretty it looks. I buy it because of his understanding of anatomy and applying that understanding on top of that, creating the best looking features that's humanly possible on canvas, right? I'm actually buying that. I'm not really buying a boring ass lady on a sitting in front of a farm. I'm not really buying that. That doesn't really mean anything, right? But it's the process, it's the understanding, the nuance that comes behind it. So again, now Bad Apple has given me something to say, so I will say. So why I buy NFTs is because I just think that it's quite pretty sometimes, and
Okay, very good. Can we move to
No. So I have more questions to Cody, but do you actually have Leonardo da Vinci's work?
Huh? No.
No. Okay, just checking. No.
Over to you, JC. What do you mainly look for when you purchase an artwork?
Hi. So, very affirm on this. What I'm looking for before purchasing an artwork: consistency and uniformity. I personally believe each collectors are a human being with normal-sized brain and susceptible to marketing propaganda. So collectors make various decisions that sometimes unjustifiable and unsound decisions to normies. But if I'm speaking from creator perspective, your whales, your investors, and your communities are just like any other online shopper. They make decisions based on cognitive bias. You might ask, why the act? And as an NFT creator, you need to know about this whole neurologistic thing. As you know, cognitive bias is a mistake in reasoning, evaluating, remembering, or other cognitive process often occurred as a result of holding onto one preference and belief regardless on contrary. Psychologists, they study cognitive biases as they related to memories, reasoning, and decision making. Just like what Cody said about the Star Wars NFTs. So arguably, collectors, they have a tendency to think in a certain ways that can lead to systematic deviation from a standard of rationality or good judgment. So it's very, very important that we understand this, because one thing is always often occur in our daily lexicon as an NFT people is that FOMO, fear of missing out, or in a psychological term, we call it bandwagon effect. Okay, first of all, like consistency, uniformity, they're attractive to the eyes, but first of all, it's easier for the brain to process and decisions to be made. Second point, it shows of professionalism and seriousness with the project. People want to invest money on creators, they don't want to spend on the scam project. So even scammers pun doing better than you, some people. So the third one is it shows finesse. It's a fine value style and determine what kind of artist are you. People do judge little thing, but belakang cerita lah, after they beli, then they fikir balik whether it's worth to hold or just flip it cheaply. So I read a few tweets yang says and claim that they do not care anymore about roadmaps and utilities. They just want to buy. They say, I don't care, I want to support only. But okay, this gentleman never wrong at all in their action for now. But sooner or later, they will sit down and stare at their NFTs. They will ask themselves, should I hold it? Is it a valuable investment or just my whims actions on the day? Yeah. So uniformity, consistency. Please maintain that up. I will buy definitely. Anything that uniform, I will definitely buy.
Right. Okay, I think you shared some really interesting stuff. What were you saying, Cody?
Oh, I was just agreeing. Yeah, I will also buy uniform things. Yeah. He's right. He's the smartest guy here right now. Thank you.
Excuse me.
So hi.
Hey. Hi, I'm better.
Everything good?
Hi, Jason.
Yeah, so you can blame Cody for that impression of you.
Oh.
Cody, is that you? Cody, is that you impersonating again, Cody?
Sorry,
right. So
it's a bit noisy here.
No, I think now is fine.
Yeah.
It sounds good now. So let's rewind a little bit and give you the space, Bad Apple, to share. So basically, we're on the topic of what do you as a collector mainly look at before purchasing an artwork? But before you answer that question, if you don't mind, can you share a little bit about yourself? Maybe what you do and how you got into collecting art, because I believe you have quite a big collection on pentas.
Okay, when I feel like it, I'm a copywriter, so I was involved in ad industry and whatever that it is that you need to sell stuff. So I'm always actively selling things. I mean, selling in a different manner because I sell it through my copy. Okay, that's very weak. Sorry. I got into it because I've been collecting all my life, so it's only natural that the progression from shit coins go to shit NFTs, and then you get wrecked, and then there's something new. It's a cycle. So I'm just part of the cycle, and I'm very fortunate to be here. That's about it. Yeah.
Right. So, and what do you look at when for example, you look for that shit NFT, as you said?
Okay. What do I look at? Obviously, It has to be aesthetic value first and foremost, and with aesthetic value, it involves personal biasness. So I have a certain flavor, I have a certain passion, or I like certain things like pixel or whatever it is. But when I like it, I gravitate towards it. Doesn't mean that other art is bad. I just like that, and yeah, that's what I look for. Aesthetic value. Is there a shock value? Something funny, something horrific, something that makes me feel. Because I wouldn't say that I've been in this space for a really long while, but in crypto world, everything is pretty. It ages pretty fast. So the more you see, the more you feel like there has to be a shock value that stops me in my tracks. Otherwise, it'll be really hard to catch my attention, I guess. But, in your own pace, as an artist, you should just go with it. Don't worry about what I say, because again, there is personal biasness, and I can't help it. But that doesn't mean that other people do not love your art. So, just go ahead and do it.
Right. So, JC mentioned something interesting earlier. It was something to do with roadmaps, right? So maybe this question goes to Cody first. Like, do you how big of an impact does having a roadmap, do to your decision on buying an NFT, especially the collectible ones, right? The collectibles.
Cody,
you still there or beatboxing?
Cody.
Hello. He's gone.
Akmal, I think we go over to the guests first, because we have a few guests up here. Jason. Yeah. You want to let them speak first, Akmal?
Yeah, go ahead. Proving guests.
Jason, you want to take the session away, please?
Hey, hi. I'm a traditional artist and joined the NFTs back in February, and I'm fully digital, started 2 months ago. And I wanted to ask you guys as collectors, because I tend to be like one-on-one artist and release my NFTs as a one-on-one. I have just a few multiple editions, 3 and 3, 5, but just a few ones. As a collector, what do you look like? What are you looking for when you collect art, especially fine artists, when you're not collecting collectibles, of course? Thank you.
Maybe Bad Apple wants to take this up, or maybe JC, since Cody is not here.
Forgive me, I can't hear well the questions.
He was basically asking what sort of features or what are the specifics that a collector can look for aside from buying collectible artworks, or I would say PFPs. Jason, you can unmute yourself if I phrased your question wrongly.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Jason, it's a very, very good question. Thank you for asking. So, here's a debate and the argument that I've seen and read and participate into several discussions about the future of NFTs. We do not know how the future is going to be, but as we understand how human behaviors goes, collectibles will not be the hit in the future. We will all pass the collectible. We will all pass probably the generative NFTs. So treating fine art, NFT gamings, metaverse, and real estate.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Very nice answer.
Awesome. So we have another question from, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing your name. Is it Joe7?
Yeah, it's J07.
J07?
Yeah, and just to introduce myself, I come from I'm a collector as well, and so I just wanted to offer some of my perspectives to Jason as an artist, and I think JC brought up some really great points and painted a very ambitious vision for our future, which I tend to believe in as well. But I will say that for me, I think as a collector of I guess quote unquote fine art, or if you want to call them shit NFTs and collectibles in this space, the sort of thesis or the approach that I take when collecting art is, I think there's two factors, and it's the same that has kind of rung true throughout history when it comes to fine art. And I think one is timeliness, and to that is, does the art explore questions that people are asking at the moment, right? Right now, we are at a precipice where crypto is emerging, and there's a lot of questions about what is real, what is art, what is value, what is community, and there's artists that are exploring that question. I think Xcopy is probably at the forefront of this vanguard of artists, right? This type of glitch art. And then there's the second aspect of quality that I look at, which is timelessness. And so you'll notice that those two things are fairly almost in juxtaposition. But I think the true great artists that remain are ones that are able to capture timely trends and emotions and speak to the people of that age, and then also be able to apply, whether through aesthetics, process, or any sort of creative treatment, to create art that lasts through the ages. And so when I look at collecting, low editions, whether it's the one of ones I've collected on Super Rare, or if it's the one of ones on Foundation, or the low edition series, I'm looking at art that that speaks to me right now and today, but also I plan on admiring and growing with in 5 to 10 plus years. And so if you're an artist that is truly looking to create one of ones, I would say to look at what are those types of aspects of the timeliness, what are things that trends and emotions and questions that interest you today, and then also how can you imbue some timelessness in your own way so that you can leave a mark into the future. Those are things that I think are important in general for artists to look at when creating art that will last into the years to come, as well as to find a buyer today.
Awesome. I think that's really good. I really like the point of timelessness, and being in creating something in the moment that have some kind of impact on you, and then somehow translate it into art, right? So I think that's really awesome.
Thank you for listening to part 1 of The Collector's Perspective. If you like our content, be sure to give us a follow on Spotify, Twitter, and Instagram. And also, subscribe to us on YouTube. Special thanks to all the Patreon members out there for supporting our cause and our works. That's all for part 1. Stay tuned for part 2 of this episode. Goodbye.